Good morning, everybody. This is Everett. I am the rubber dinghy of the TLC, paddling along the other ships. I just have a few minutes this morning to record a video. I was just watching Paul's homeroom while I was washing the bathrooms in my house. Just wanted to share a couple thoughts. One was, I know when I referred to Scott or Am I Driving as my hero, and I think I kind of freaked him out a little bit. He was talking a bit about not being infallible and all that kind of stuff. One of my problems is that I spend an awful lot of time listening and thinking and a lot less time talking. So I'm trying to remedy that and to be a little more articulate. But I wanted to share something that might give you an idea of what I found really cool about what Am I Driving did. And I'm going to show you this video really quickly here. Okay.
Leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone.
So I'm thinking the first guy is Scott. Now I know there were a lot more before Scott. But for me, he was the guy that kind of pushed me over the edge into actually recording some videos and taking the risk of not always looking great on film. That's not to say he doesn't, but I certainly feel like I don't sometimes. So I'm just going to show you a little bit more.
Everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not.
Now, Brett, Greek Brett, is this you? I don't think so. Maybe. But look at that. We do these things, we do brave things, and then people start following us. So I'll just play it a little bit more.
It's not a lone nut, and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd, and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers, because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd.
So look out, TLC. If this is correct, then we probably have a few more people coming into the TLC, which I think is great. And because they might follow the followers, guys like Ethan Cahy, who are maybe a little more recent, or Ezra Geo, or some others, maybe even Olson, although I haven't seen a lot yet from Olson, but I hope to see more. So the next thing I just wanted to mention was on homeroom this morning, Paul's talking about formation and how we don't have this view from nowhere, right? And so sometimes we're not aware of what our biases are. And I took a chronic pain course through my work a few days ago, and it talks a little bit about how to shift, like how hard it is to shift our thinking about pain. Because we usually think if we're in pain, we can't do much, we have to take it easy. And so what we're trying to do is help people relearn things. And I wanted to share this really cool video with you. It is called the Backwards Brain Bicycle. And I just love this one. So I'll just play a little bit of this.
You've heard people say it's just like riding a bike, meaning it's really easy and you can't forget how to do it, right? But I did something. I did something that damaged my mind. It happened on the streets of Amsterdam, and I got really scared, honestly. I can't ride a bike like you can anymore. Before I show you the video of what happened, I need to tell you the backstory. Like many 6-year-olds with a MacGyver mullet, I learned how to ride a bike when I was really young. I had learned a life skill and I was really proud of it. Everything changed though when my friend Barney—
That is a MacGyver mullet. I love that mullet. That's great.
called me 25 years later. Where I work, the welders are geniuses and they like to play jokes on the engineers. He had a challenge for me. He had built a special bicycle and he wanted me to try to ride it. He had only changed one thing. When you turn the handlebar to the left, the wheel goes to the right. When you turn it to the right, the wheel goes to the left. I thought this would be easy, so I hopped on the bike ready to demonstrate how quickly I could conquer this.
And here he is.
Could we call this opponent processing? Well, I think opponent processing might be even easier than this because we still get to have our own bearings when we're doing opponent processing, unless we truly indwell the person. But let's look at a little more of what happens.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Destin Sandlin. First attempt riding the bicycle.
All right. So the faster I go, the better. Yeah.
I couldn't do it. You can see that I'm laughing, but I'm actually really frustrated. In this moment, I had a really deep revelation. My thinking was in a rut. This bike revealed a very deep truth to me. I had the knowledge of how to operate the bike, but I did not have the understanding. Therefore, knowledge is not understanding. Look, I know what you're probably thinking. Destin's probably just an uncoordinated engineer and can't do it. But that's not the case at all. The algorithm that's associated with riding a bike in your brain is just that complicated. Think about it. Downwards force on the pedals, leaning your whole body, pulling and pushing the handlebars, gyroscopic precession in the wheels. Every single force is part of this algorithm. And if you change any one part, it affects the entire control system. I do not make definitive statements that often, but I'm telling you right now, you cannot ride this bicycle. You might think you can, but you can't. I know this because I'm often asked to speak at universities and conferences and I take the bike with me.
I'm just going to make my screen a little bigger so you don't see any of the awkward videos I had on there.
Always the same. People think they're going to try some trick or they're just going to power through it. It doesn't work. Your brain cannot handle this. For instance, this guy, I offered him $200 just to ride this bike 10 feet across the stage. Everybody thought he could do it.
No, you didn't understand. You didn't understand. So, this way. Okay. All right, that's like, all right, so, whenever you're ready. Yeah. Wait. No, you have to keep your feet on. All right, here we go. Wait. Like, you gotta start rolling at least. Okay, let's go. And go. Oh, go! All right, back up. Okay, wait. Keep your feet on the pedal. Go. Go right off. Just keep your feet on the pedals. Hands on. Yeah, come on.
Anyway, I'll stop sharing there, but I'd certainly encourage you to watch it. It's just called Smarter Every Day 133 is the video. And here I'm just going to make myself a little bit bigger as I learn this new tech. So I just wanted to make one other point, and that is that in some ways, addiction is kind of like that bicycle. So this guy, he said he wrecked his brain, and what you'll see later on in the film is that he actually learns how to ride this thing, that one day it just clicks. And it was pretty wild because you can watch him and he can do it. And his son actually rides it. His son is just little, and he learns a lot more quickly than his dad. And then he goes back to riding a regular bike. But what this guy finds is that he can't ride a normal bike anymore. And anybody who's struggled with what AA calls the invisible line, whether it's alcohol or pornography or whatever sort of hack has come into your mind or into your life, is there's this invisible line where you don't go back to the way you were before, right? Sometimes in recovery, they say a pickle doesn't become a cucumber again. And I think there's a lot of truth to that, that once you cross that line, any amount of that substance is going to be absolutely, it will begin the phenomenon of craving, and then you are going to lose complete control. So anyway, thought I would just share that today. I have a busy day ahead. I'm visiting a friend at hospital. I'm hoping we have estuary training today, and then I get to talk to PVK at 2 o'clock. So really excited. I hope everybody has a great day.